Welcome back to another episode of Simply Life's Adventures. Today we're going to be upgrading some off-road lights on the Rattle Trap. Rattle Trap's the 87 Jeep Wagoneer. It's an XJ platform though, not the Grand. Nothing fancy. All it means is I got a lot of electronics that love to fail because, 1987 AMC built Jeep. So is what it is though. We make the best that we can out of it, and it's been a pretty good little rig. So we'll do an in-depth on it at some point in the future, but today we're going to upgrade some off-road lights. Okay, well, we're in the shop, as some would say, or my garage, which I'm lucky to have a bay in. And here are our off-road lights. Nothing super fancy on this rig, just super 4x4 brand. I got them at an auto parts store in the early 2000s, and they're about as bright as a set of regular halogen headlights are. Nothing super fancy. I really dig the look of them on this. Kind of going for more of an old school, not super modern look, although we do run some LED marker lamps and certain signals, mainly just because they pull a whole lot less amperage on the electrical system. Makes everything a little happier. So but today these are what we're going to be replacing, the actual H3 light bulb inside, and we're replacing them with some Auxito LED lights. They're just an H3 LED replacement. Went with golden yellow. Yeah, Amazon special, had a lot of good reviews. So we'll go through how to take these apart. So if for some reason you happen to have a set of these too, I think I got these at AutoZone. It might have been Advanced Auto Parts. Like I said, way back in the early 2000s, they were $50 or less on the sale rack, and have sat around in my garage forever and a day until I got this. And I don't know, just thought they kind of brought the look of the front end together how I like it, and I think it looks kind of cool, kind of old school, I guess you'd call it. So but let's get to replacing these. Okay, so if you happen to have a set of these lights, I'll show you here how to get the lens cover off of them and then pop the glass bulb or the glass housing out to get to that bulb. So what we're going to need is a flathead screwdriver to just come underneath here. For me, I just come off of my winch plate and pry. We'll pop that off, and then there's one Phillips head screw that goes up into the bottom to kind of hold it into place. So we can get us a flat blade screwdriver, Phillips, and I'll show you how we do this here. Now, one-handed, not as easy to catch stuff with, so we'll go underneath like so. Sorry for being tilted. Maybe. There we go. Pried it. Just give it a little bit more of a. Nope. There we go. Bottom pried out. And we just had a little one-night trip up to Ray Rocks here in Missouri, and it's a pretty cool place. First time been up there, so got a little dust and mud. Now, underneath here, we got a Phillips head screw. Take that guy out. I got some stainless screws that I'm probably going to replace these with, because the last thing we want is these getting all rusted and stuck in there. lights. All right, there's a trim ring on here. We just gotta work with the fingernails there. And then on the inside, we got 2 wires. One's your ground, one's our hot. And let me get this cleaned out a little bit. We got all this rust and stuff, but we'll go ahead and I'll get this disconnected and be right back. Well, it's disconnected. A little corrosion in there. I'm probably going to replace these with some heat shrink connectors just to try to keep water out, maybe. I don't know. I might just put some grease in there too to keep the contacts clean. Had a little bit of a wiring pull out there. I want to take that apart, as you can see. So what we do on these, the back of this housing, there's a little spring here that comes out and around. Maybe, there we go. Spring just pulls out. And there's our just simple little H3 incandescent bulb. Looks like they're 100 watt, but they are not very good. Kind of dim, like I said. Regular light bulb is quite a bit brighter. My bright lights are brighter than these things are, so, and I'm just running regular old guide halogens, so nothing super fancy. All right, so sorry for the noise. My son's driving his Power Wheel around. So we're gonna get in here, clean this up, because we've got some mud and stuff getting in here. So we'll vacuum it out and best we can, wire brush it a little bit, and then hit it with a little bit of Rust-Oleum rust stop just to keep them from rusting apart. Because like I said, I like the way these things look on this thing. Just, you know, hopefully they're a little brighter with the LEDs, but we'll see what we can do. So let me get stuff I need, we'll get them cleaned up. That's coated, cleaned up. I'm gonna took a look at these, and the contact points all look really good still. So no, the wire looks fine. I think we're gonna use some just electrical grease on our connectors when we plug them back in, and try to just keep water intrusion to a minimum. It's gonna happen, but I get back in here and clean stuff up and check on things quite often, so we'll just hope for the best, I suppose. All right, okay, so we looked at the connectors. The contact points all look pretty good, so we're just going to use some electric grease. We put it back together, just keep water intrusion to a minimum. We'll be back in to check on stuff and make sure we don't need to do anything further for maintenance if these things start rusting out or whatever. So we'll check on them periodically, make sure everything stays good. So the lights now, we will take a look at. One-handed opening, fun. All right, don't need to reuse that box after we tear it out. Okay. There's our replacement bulbs. So, one thing we want to make sure is that the actual side here is going to be the same size as the hole we got down in here. Now this light grounds off of the housing through here, so we'll put a little bit of electric grease around there too, just to make sure we keep the water from getting in, because there is no rubber seal on these, and I don't think it's worth really throwing an O-ring or anything into. If they get submerged, they get submerged, and how about I just don't turn them on when they get submerged, and I don't know, place to start. Not the end all be all answer, but here's these lights, LEDs. You got a little chip in there. They're, well, yep, I like part of the fun of being a father is got a flat on the power wheel, which just means the rubber band came off of the tire. So the boy's gonna drive the power wheel up here. We'll get that fixed and then get back on our lights. Power wheel's fixed and we're back. So we've got the light bulb here that we are going to make sure fits in our housing. Okay, so the bulb now, we want to make sure fits into the housing as it's supposed to. Now there's two little things, one on each side here, that help kind of clock it and keep it from spinning around, and then the wire will come out through this little gap here. And it looks like these are going to work pretty good and sit up in there pretty nice. I think we're going to throw just a little grease around there to make a nice little water seal, if you will, and it should ground just fine through it as well. So let's just get that. All right, up at our workbench. Yep, radiator core support of the Jeep. All right, so we're going to use a little bit of dielectric grease here from CRC. And, you know, should do what we want it to. Seal, lubricate, protect, insulate, waterproof electrical contacts. Trust everything that it says on the can there. But no, good stuff. Should actually do exactly what we need it to do. So we're going to go ahead and put a little bit around the base of this here. Get it all snapped back into place with our spring here. Daddy. And then get them all grounded out, and we'll do the other one, and we'll do our... Okay, we got the grease around there. That popped down back into place. So now we got a couple of bent up tabs on this thing that we are going to bend back a little bit so they have a little better connection. And then we're going to take our spring clip that retains this all, put it in the right way, which is this facing down. So it loops around the ground here. Get this all done with one hand, which is not the easiest. Here we go. Alright. Get these down underneath here. There's one. And there's two. So that's what she looks like. It'll come out through here. Hopefully get that all snapped in. We got this here, nice and solid. It's not wiggling around. Got a little bit of grease, that dielectric grease down in there to hopefully seal it up a little bit. Obviously the whole thing's not waterproof, but also not going to hopefully be running my lights completely submerged. Hopefully we're not submerged. So we got the cord running out opposite of the ground side. We'll get them both plugged in, put a little dielectric grease there on each of those contact ends, and then slide that lens back in. So it took two hands to get these plugged in, but we got everything just connected back up, a little dielectric grease on each end, and then once all your connections are good, just take and it says top, you can read it right there. So if you can't figure that one out, screw hole is also on the bottom. So we will get these popped back in like so. Just kind of pop in place. Put our screw back in, and then pop the lens cover back on, and we'll do the other side over here, and then we will see exactly what they look like. So there's both sides installed and buttoned back up. Said not super expensive lights, but see how this upgrade works. So let me put you down here. One thing I forgot to do with them before, so sorry. They were about as bright as a low beam halogen headlight, so you'll just have to take my word for it. But let me sit you down. We'll see how bright these things are. So it's daylight. I know it's hard to tell, and they are yellow, but they are significantly brighter than those 100-watt halogens were. So when we get a little bit of light that goes down, we'll pull it out on the road here and actually see what they look like at nighttime. But I am digging the yellow lights, and I think it just adds to kind of the retro-ish feel that I want this Jeep to have. So I know LED is not retro, but a whole lot less amperage pull on the electrical system than the old halogens were. So just trying to do everything we can. Still run a stock alternator. Need to upgrade that at some point. It's only I believe 60 or 65 amp, and with all the electronics and the little gremlins, it's a constant tracking of finding new shorts that seem to come around. But I think we're getting it kind of all sorted out. So we'll get back on this after dark and show you what they look like out on the lights off and new lights on. Need a little bit of adjustment, obviously. These are my standard low beams, so we'll hold those auxiliary lamps up a little bit. That way actually shine down the road a bit. We'll get out on a county road here and show you a little better. So that's what they are. And that's looking at them. Straight on. That's with the low beams on, and then that's what she looks like inside. And that's off, low beams on with low beams. So not too bad, considering you couldn't hardly tell a difference with the old ones. For just some change out bulbs and some old actual headlight housings. I'll take it. It's better than nothing, better than it was. We'll catch you on the next one.